Hi, everyone. I'm Vincent Joe.
Hi, I'm Kathy Reed.
And I'm Allison Reed.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Grace.
We're from the Haydenettes.
I am Mark Henretti.
Ciao a tutti, siamo Rebecca Ghirardi
e Filippo Ambrosini
e vi diamo il benvenuto a
This Weekend Skating.
Welcome to This Week in Skating, the weekly podcast bringing you the latest news from the world of figure skating. Here are your hosts, Daphne, Gina, and Matteo.
And we're back. We are going to be recapping the Grand Prix de France. I can't believe we're in the Grand Prix. It feels like just last week we're in the Junior Grand Prix, and that's because we were. But now we're talking about Grand Prix de France. I will still admit that I call it just about everything else except Grand Prix de France. I have called it Eric Bompard, Trophy La Ligue, all the things. When I'm making notes about the competition, I can't help it. I realize now I've been watching skating way too long for it to have gone through so many name changes. For this episode, we have a special guest. Gina and Matteo and I are joined by Solène Mathieu. She is a reporter for Skate Info Glass and Patinage magazine, and she also attended Grand Prix de France. And we're really excited to have her on this episode. Welcome, Solène.
Hi, Solène.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was a great weekend full of surprises.
Yeah. I think that sums it up nicely. We don't have to talk anymore. Full of surprises.
I mean, there were some expected results. Not everything was a surprise. I mean, the men's event, I knew right away who the winner was going to be in that event, but yeah, there were surprises across a couple different disciplines for sure.
Definitely. Now, we'll remind our listeners that this Grand Prix series looks a little bit different this year because the events are not in the usual order that we're accustomed to. They've been switched all around. Normally, it would have been Skate America followed by Skate Canada and on and on. This year, it's all flipped around. And we're starting in France for our first Grand Prix. Now, usually we will kick off and start talking about either the men's event or the women's event. But for this episode, we're going to flip it, much like the Grand Prix, and we're going to talk about the ice dance competition. So just quickly going over the results and a few notes. The results of the ice dance competition stirred up quite a bit of passion amongst the fans on message boards and social media. I was reading lots of different thoughts. There were, I think some are on the same wavelength. It was just, people were a little bit bugged by some things, definitely. And I have to say that in our friend group as a whole, Gina, would you agree that we didn't all agree on things?
Yeah, I mean, usually Anne and I chat after an event, and we did that last night, and we didn't agree on things. She was very much enjoyed one team that I was like, well, no, I didn't agree. But again, I think we all thought, I don't know. I think usually sometimes we're always agreeing on things, and this time around it wasn't always the case. And I will say too, with the ice dance event, I watched the rhythm dance, not live, because I had a thing all day Saturday, but Sunday I did wake up at 5:30 in the morning and watched the dance event from my bed. And so I may need to go back and watch things again, like you did, Daphne. I know you mentioned you watched it twice, because I may have missed some things. Going back and reading things over and seeing what people have posted online, I may need to actually go back and watch some things, because maybe my thoughts on the competition are a little different than what other people are saying, and even what Anne had said. So maybe I need to see it again.
Well, I think we all have our preferences. And what I will point out is this is a really crazy Olympic year for ice dance because we've got a returning team with the Shipitanis. We also have our reigning Olympic champion coming back with a very well-seasoned new partner and seemingly setting the world on fire at this competition. So let me go through things just a little bit. So France's Laurence Fournier-Baudry, Guillaume Cizeron won the gold. This is their international debut. They were supposed to debut earlier in the season, but went back to the drawing board with their rhythm dance to change it from Depeche Mode to a Madonna Vogue theme, which I thought suited them. But I kind of would like to have seen the edgier Depeche Mode, just also because I like Depeche Mode. So I'm interested in what they would come up with. In silver medal, we had Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson of Great Britain. Now, they are our reigning world bronze medalists. They had a 6.38 lead after the rhythm dance. Usually that's it. Like, if you're that far ahead, no one's going to catch you, especially in ice dance, but that was not the case in Angers. In bronze medal position, Alison Reed and Saulius Ambrulivicius of Lithuania, who were second in the rhythm dance. I have to point out that of all the teams that are doing I'm Too Sexy, I like theirs the best. The music is really familiar to me, so it's been fun. This is the big surprise, or the shocker. Charlène Guignard and Marco Fabri of Italy, 3-time European champions, 2-time and defending Grand Prix final silver medalists, and a team that has medaled at Grand Prix for at least the last 6 seasons. We're 5th in the rhythm dance and 4th overall. I wasn't prepared for that at all. And there's more that we'll talk about. I mean, this is a team that usually easily scores over 205 points. And they didn't here. It was a shock. I think it was obvious that they were shocked sitting in the kiss and cry. This was not expected by them. So overall, this was, it was a first Grand Prix, but I feel like there's so much more to talk about. Solène was actually there, so we'd love to get your impressions.
I'm sure. So yes, everybody was shocked about Charlène and Marco scoring so low. I don't have an explanation. Something that I've heard is that they should have gone to Lombardia. They would have gotten feedback there. But still, these scores don't make any sense. So yes, that was a bit of a shock for everyone. Regarding Laurence and Guillaume, because of the mistake in the rhythm dance, 3rd place was not surprising. And then the free dance was really good. Honestly, it was really good. So I don't know if it was 133 good, but it was really good.
Yeah, I have to say, what surprised me about Charlène and Marco's scores is their skating skills scores were low, which to me is something that has always been a strength for them. That was very surprising. They're fantastic technicians, and I know that sometimes fans have either said, well, I don't really like their programs, or I like their programs this year, but you can't deny that they're good skaters. Like, they're really good. And so this was a surprise, that part of it. And I wondered too, should they have gone to a challenger? They've always done a challenger, always at Lombardia. When we talked about Lombardia Trophy earlier in the season, it just seems so bizarre to not be mentioning their names other than to say, well, for the first time in forever, they're not there.
Yeah. And I don't know I thought the free dance for them was, great. It was totally them. The rhythm dance theme for Charlene and Marco, I don't know if it suits them. And I've seen some comments about that it's harder for these mature and older teams to pull off the 90s theme. And I didn't really get their Backstreet Boys. It kind of came off as a little, I don't know how to say it, but it just kind of a little cheesy to me looking at them, because you see them as mature and older, and it kind of was like, it looked like an exhibition program, a program you would see in an exhibition. And so when I first saw the rhythm dance results and saw that they were in 5th, this was before I had saw the actual competition, I was like, there had to be a mistake. But then when I went back to watch it, there wasn't a mistake to me, other than I just didn't get, the program just wasn't their best. In my opinion, I just didn't think it suited them well. I much prefer their free dance, which I thought was skated very well and didn't get the marks it deserved. But that was me. And then I also was trying to tell Anne too at 5:30 in the morning, watching it, some of the programs seemed very similar. And so when Lila and Lewis came out with more of an upbeat program, it my attention was there. And again, watching it at 5:30 in the morning, if I watched it at maybe 10, 11, afternoon, evening, my thoughts might have been totally different because I would have been fully awake. But Lila and Lewis, to me, just that program grabbed me. Daphne, I agree with you. You haven't said it yet, but I'm seeing it in our notes that I liked the blue costumes compared to the red costumes. And Anne actually said those costumes were distracting to her, the red ones. So that kind of put into play. But, I thought Lila and Lewis skated well. Laurence and Guillaume definitely skated well too. But I don't know about 133.02 in their first Grand Prix as a team. And just in the first Grand Prix event in general. That's talking a world championship score.
I think Laurence and Guillaume look very good together. It isn't something you can compare to his previous partnership. It's a new partnership. They have a different vibe. They have a different flow. It's not the same. And I've seen some people comparing them online, and okay, I get that you want to, but it's a very different partnership with Laurence. And I think their free dance, it's beautiful. They skated it pretty well. I think there's still more that they can get from it. I thought the score was a bit high. Honestly, that's what I took from it. I didn't have issue with them winning the free dance at all. I took issue with the score because we're looking at a score that's almost 1.5 points higher than our world champions scored back in March, which is at the end of a season. And so scoring so high at this point doesn't leave a lot of room to grow. And yeah, I watched the programs multiple times, and I think the score was a bit high. And I get it. I've read people saying, well, it was in France. He's the Olympic champion. I've heard all of these different thoughts and reasonings behind it. For whatever reason, again, I think they were the free dance winners. I just would not have put that score so high. I don't think that they're there yet. And that's just my opinion. Give them another few months. Maybe they'll score that. This is just sending kind of this message of, this is a team that we're going to push for the Olympics. This is potentially Olympic champion team. And I don't think we're there yet. I mean, we still haven't seen the top two teams in the world. And this score just sent that message to me that take it seriously because this team is going to be on the podium. At the very least, they're going to be on the podium. And what message does that send to the other teams? I mean, I feel like a lot of messages were sent here.
Talking about the Olympic Games, so Solène, am I right? You talked to them at the Masters first? And you know,
yes,
you actually touched on citizenships for Laurence, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, every time we see them, we ask them about citizenship. So they don't have any news at the moment. So Laurence doesn't have a French passport. We asked them again last weekend. They don't have any news. Which might be interesting, I don't know, is that the French new Ministry of Sport was in the arena. She went to see them, took a picture with them. I don't know if it means anything. I'm just sharing information here. Yeah, what I liked in Angers is that the rhythm dance, so they changed the music, we've mentioned that, and now it looks less similar to the 2022 rhythm dance with Gabriela. So that's good. They did not mention that. They only spoke about the music, but I think it's for the better. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Can I ask you, because I was in Italy actually, so I couldn't be there in France, which would normally be the case. I'll be there with you, and it's a shame. But you were there, and knowing you, I think you would have watched them to then go and see them in a mixed zone. So what was the atmosphere in the arena, particularly during the rhythm dance, when they were the first team to come out and skate? Because from home, it didn't feel like they had a huge reception. So I was quite curious to know whether it was just, you know, maybe the start of the live show and you couldn't get the real feeling out there in the arena.
No, they had a huge support from the crowd.
I'm glad.
It was huge. Yeah. No, I mean, everybody was very happy to see them. I mean, Guillaume is somebody that everybody likes. So Guillaume and Laurence, everybody wants to see them. So yeah, huge support. I don't know if it was the best idea that Nikolaj Sørensen came to the arena. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we saw that there were a couple of messages of support to the other side of that story in the arena.
Yeah, there were definitely... Definitely signs. I saw a bunch of photos online and then people mentioning it.
Also, we just heard that Gabriela's book will be published in January. So just 1 month before the Olympics. Be ready.
I told Matteo that even if it only comes out in French, that I'm going to buy it anyway.
And I may just give us a translation.
Yeah.
Translate the whole book, Matteo.
I took multiple years of French. I have not used hardly any of it, except for when I go to Montreal from time to time. It makes me want to get back into it because I really want to know. Like, I want to hear what she has to say in this book. I hope that she's unguarded. I hope that she is who she is, because I think her personality has always been, or at least especially in the last 2 years, has been very open about her experiences. And I am looking forward to hearing what she has to say.
So the book is Pour ne pas disparaître, which is not to disappear.
And she did post something on Instagram yesterday.
Right, shall I read it out?
Yeah.
So Gabriela posted this. This weekend, I read in several articles that I stopped competing to focus on shows. That's not what happened. I stopped because the environment I was in had become deeply unhealthy. I was exhausted, physically and mentally, and I had to leave to protect myself. I didn't have a choice. It was only afterwards that I felt the desire to do shows, to skate with a woman, and to give visibility to the movement of same-sex couples in figure skating. It's important for me to say this because reducing that decision to a simple change of direction completely erases what I went through and the way this experience had in my life. Today, I'm happy. I'm slowly rebuilding my life, and I want to keep working to make the culture of competitive skating healthier for the next generations. But there's a part of me that didn't choose this ending that will always carry its weight, and I don't want to erase it.
I appreciated her honesty about it. I really did. I think there are a lot of facets to this whole thing, and it's polarizing because we're talking about our reigning Olympic champions. Like, she is the other half of the reigning Olympic champion team. And, I mean, you can't not focus on it in this season. So it's interesting that her book's going to come out in January, just before the Olympics.
Was there much coverage on the national press about Guillaume's comeback and the result?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There were many journalists, many French journalists, maybe many Japanese journalists, sorry. We'll talk about that. So yeah, a lot of people, they have never given that many accreditation for the press in this event.
So Alison Reed and Saulius Ambrulivicius of Lithuania, I know 3 of us were in Boston when they competed at Worlds and did not make the free dance, which was just a shock. They seem to be on the upwards mobility trail now. They won the Olympic qualifier and then a bronze medal here, which continues their kind of streak they have going of bronze medals at the Grand Prix series, because they won 2 bronzes last year and they were alternates to the Grand Prix final. That's another part of how this is all going to be affected, is the Grand Prix final may look different than what we have seen in the past, at least a little bit, based on results from this competition. I know I said earlier, I really like their rhythm dance a lot. Their free dance, I know, is not everyone's cup of tea, just because that type of music is not, you either like it or you don't. I happen to like it, so I'm into it, but I know that not everyone does.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. I had a hard time with their free dance. So it's maybe one of those programs that I need to see again before I can really judge it. But at first time watching it on early Sunday morning, it didn't do anything for me. And so I was kind of maybe a little surprised that it was, scored as high as it was. And I would have maybe put in, Charlene and Marco, and maybe had Allison and Saul 4th. But again, I don't know. I really don't know with these results and how it went. And
they told us that they are very ready, because they had to be ready for Beijing. They have never been ready this soon, so they are feeling great. And they were ready for Beijing. They were ready for Angers. It worked.
Yeah, they definitely did look ready, regardless of what I thought of the program.
So, Solène, before we move on to the men, were there any other ice dance performances that stood out to you, that you enjoyed, that maybe people should check out if they have an opportunity to watch a video replay?
Well, I'm French, but still, I think that Selina Fragi and Jean Sforno have a very good free dance. I really enjoy the free dance. It was good. So, of course, they are very young, but still, I think it's worth watching.
It's always hard when they come into their first senior, a team comes into their first, or a skater at all comes in their first senior season and it's Olympic year. So everything is already amplified and a little bit crazy. And so it's always hard to break in. I really enjoyed what they did at the junior ranks, and I'm excited to see them develop on the senior ranks now. I really like their free dance as well. I thought it was just interesting. There were a lot of parts to focus in on, and I just really enjoyed it a lot. I also really enjoyed Natasha Lagouche and Arnaud Kaffa's programs, they always bring something different and fun to the ice when they skate. So
I want to ask a question about what happened with Ava Pate and Logan Bai's free dance score there, and then they came out with the correction. Maybe, Solène, you can explain what happened?
No, I'm sorry. I don't have the slightest idea. I saw it online today, so I don't know.
I didn't get it. Was it just like the judge put in something wrong? I mean...
Yeah, I think so.
Seems like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
it seems strange to me. I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
I don't know if I've ever knew what that was put in for... Yeah.
It was weird. Like, are we going to see this more often? And is it going to affect results? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, one last thing that was cute. So Emily Brady and Jens Somerville were skating to Vogue by Madonna in the rhythm dance as well. And when they went to the mix zone to talk with the journalist, Ian was like, "Do you think I'm going to be compared to the Olympic champion?" Oh, God.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
The costumes are different, though. They both went with, like, a different style of, like, Madonna. The one had the black with the white, and the other more of that pink kind of... So it wasn't like they both were doing the same costume.
No, the costumes are very different.
Actually, have Guillaume and Laurent said anything about their costumes? Because they had to turn things around very quickly. So do you know whether they're going to change them? Or are they going to stick with them?
Oh, I think they are going to stick with them because the Laurent's corset is very Madonna.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Looks good.
So, let's move on to the men's event.
Yeah, well, I don't think there were really any surprises in the men's event. I mean, Ilya wins the event by 40 points. But, you know, again, typical Ilya. I don't know if the score may have been a little high. I mean, to win by 40 points this early, but maybe he's done this before. And
you know what, Gina? Let's talk about Adam being Adam and doing what Adam does.
You saw what I put in the notes. I was going to say that. He does what Adam does. He makes a comeback in the free skate to get on the podium. This is Adam.
Yes. He's done it. We've witnessed it. We were in Montreal when he did that.
You should actually go to competition with Solène and see how Solène feels when Adam does this.
It was so crazy because, well, you know that he didn't have the best beginning of the season. Masters were not good. It was actually, he said that the free skate at Masters was the worst program of his life. Lombardia was not good. Nice was very good in the short, not in the free. So we were a bit worried about it, about Angers. And then, what a relief. And I've never seen Adam in French. I've never seen Adam so happy, really, because he's an introvert. So when he's happy, it's in the inside. We don't see it. And this time in Angers, he had such a large smile. It was amazing to see. It was so sweet. He was very much relieved.
I was actually editing some photos today, and Robin sent some photos with his big head in the stands that people had.
I liked those, honestly. I thought they were cool.
They were super cool. They had them for every French skater. So I think, I didn't ask Adam, but I think he did not really mind it because he's used to getting attention. But Selina Fragi, she freaked out.
I can see where being on the ice and seeing that big face might freak you out.
They were
just
huge.
Because, they were huge.
They weren't like a little, small one. They were big.
They were.
How did
they
they
were
get
showing
those through
support.
security?
No, I think that they were probably the Federation was involved with those, maybe, to make sure. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know, but the people all had matching shirts on, too. So
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of support. I liked the big heads. I thought they were clever and cool. It made me think of, and this isn't the same thing, but during the pandemic when we had the cardboard cutout things sitting in the stands, that's what it made me think of. But it was much bigger, and I was just trying to figure out how big the machine must be to be able to create that, because I've had posters done like 3 or 4 feet posters done on like a foam board before, and that made sense, but these were like 10 times the size of that, it seemed like. But I thought they were clever.
It was very nice. It was lovely, really. About Ilya, so he landed a quad axel triple toe during practice. That was nice. Yep.
Wow.
I'm sure there are videos online. I didn't check, but I'm sure there are. We also saw a quad loop during practice. He didn't do it during the free skate, but we saw it, a very nice one during practice. He looked super strong.
Yeah. There's nothing I feel like he can't do, but, and I like the free skate and I like the concept of it, but, I don't know how much of the spoken, I'm not a huge fan of spoken words during a program, but, I gotta see it again. I'll, again, I like the concept, so I think I will like the program. I just need to see it a few more times.
I love the VIP persona that he's creating around himself. So I saw videos of him getting to the arena with his black leather jacket and his hairstyle, and him going around like, look at me.
He's kind of like generating this buzz that's very different than what we saw in the US with Nathan Chen 4 years ago. Nathan had a very different vibe from what Ilya has.
Oh, yeah.
So
totally
it was much more
vibe.
subdued. Ilya has more of a rock star, look at me vibe. Nathan was much more, I'm going to do my job. Here I am. I'm a cool guy, but I'm not going to be blowing up on social media with all of that. I do love his costume though. I think it's interesting.
About Adam, so his mom was in the arena, of course, and she was selling merch, hoodies and t-shirts. So at the beginning, I was like, my first reaction was, oh, it's very cute that she's doing that. And I went to say hi, and she was like, yes, of course, it's very cute, but we need the money. So in fact, they are struggling a bit financially. Adam didn't do ice show this summer because he wanted to focus on the preparation for the Olympics. So yeah, I think it was it was a bit surprising to me. But I've heard similar stories, and I'm talking top skaters, and sometimes we forget that they are not, these people are not rich, and that a lot of them are struggling financially. So anyway, if you want to buy merch, I think it's a very good way to support the skaters that you enjoy watching.
Forget how costly this sport is.
It's
crazy.
It's incredibly expensive, and we have heard more recently of skaters who are struggling, either due to lack of support through their federation or just, this is an Olympic level sport. We're talking about Olympic level athletes. It is, of course, going to cost more for them to train than it does for a skater just starting out. So I agree with you, Solène. I think buying merch is a great way to support skaters. Even if you can't go to the competitions, even if you are watching from home, it's a great way to be able to support them.
Yeah, it's shocking when you understand how difficult it is. We know that some skaters are quite wealthy, and it's good. I mean, there's nothing to judge in that on that side. But then there are some of them that you see there. You know, I would have never guessed about Adam, not because he screams money, but just because I'm thinking he's won so much lately, so it surely must be okay.
Go buy merch from your favorite skater and help them continue to live their dream. So who won the bronze medal, Gina?
Well, Nika Agazzi of Georgia was in second after the short program, but he dropped to third and took the bronze medal. He finishes his third consecutive event in a row, and it's his first Grand Prix medal. And I was looking up, he has a break this week, no competition, but then he competes at Skate Canada in 2 weeks. I thought his schedule was crazy. The fact that he was doing 3 events, but he seems to be, it didn't like phase him. He didn't look tired. So.
But he told.
What?
Yeah, sorry. He told us that it was a big mistake.
Oh.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, he was like, it was a big mistake. I did not realize what I was doing. I just was looking at the locations. I didn't look at the dates. And then I was like, what? It was too late.
Yeah, and then I thought, okay, he's got, a later Grand Prix now. And I was like, oh no, he really just has like a week off. And then he skates again. But hey.
So he has 2 programs by Benoit Richaud, and Nika was very happy to have 2 programs by Benoit Richaud. It was a dream for him, so good for him.
I think Benoit's choreography works really well for Nika.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, finishing in 4th place was Lukas Brischke of Switzerland, who moved up from 7th after the short program. And then there was a little of that jumping that kind of went on too, our menning, as we say. Andrew Torgashev pulled up from 12th after the short program to 6th overall. Definitely much better free skate for him compared to his short program. But then we had the reverse. And I know, Daphne, you were so excited for Kyle Mura to be in 3rd after the short program, but then, it was so hard to see him struggle in that free skate. You just wanted I wanted to just pick him up and give him a big hug and say, it's okay, move up, and we're gonna, I wanted to give him an honorary, short program medal for the 3rd. Because it was such a good short program, but so hard. I like to see the skaters come back after a disappointing short program in free skate, and then I just hate it. Hate it when it's the reverse. They have a great short, and then they just have a horrible free skate.
I'm so happy he went back to his Woodkid short program. I love it, so I was very happy to see it. And yeah, it was a great short program. The free skate, yeah. What's more to say? The practice sessions were very bad, very messy, very dramatic falls, lying on the ice. But he was smiling during practice sessions, even laughing at some falls. So, and then the short program was good, so I was like, oh, maybe it would be okay. Yeah.
Well, was there anybody else in the men's event that you thought worth mentioning?
François Pitot had a very good free skate, which was very good for him. He was happy, but the first thing he told me was, you know what? If I had done that in Beijing, I would have qualified for the Olympics. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But still, a very good result in Angers for him.
All right, let's move on to the women's results.
Okay, so we had a Japanese sweep and some surprising results in the women's event, with Amina Key taking home the gold in her Grand Prix debut. Now, I thought her short program was phenomenal. She got a 78 in the short program, a personal best. For reference, though, Cowrie's personal best short program is 80.32, and that was from 2022 Worlds. And Alyssa Liu scored a 74.58 in her short program at the 2025 Worlds. So I think this might have been just a little too high this early in the season for a senior Grand Prix debut too. But she was great. I mean, the triple axel was really good in the short program. Free skate, hand down. As I was telling Daphne, I liked her free skate, but it came off. It's a Wonderful World. It looked a little bit juniorish to me. She skated it very well, but I don't know if I would have given her the gold. I don't know. Kaori Sakamoto took the silver. Her Time to Say Goodbye program. I'm going to bawl my eyes out seeing that at the Olympics, which I will only see it at the Olympics if she skates it in the team event because I won't be there for the women's event. But it's still, if I'm home here, I'll probably be bawling my eyes out to that program. She was second in the free skate. I think that crowd loved that free skate given to what she was skating to in the free skate. She had that higher PCS. I thought she deserved to win just based on that program, but I'll open it up for you guys and your thoughts in a bit here. And then the bronze to wrap out that Japanese sweep was Rian Sumiyoshi, who moved up after fourth in the short program. She did the same free skate she did last year. She did go for the quad toe in the free skate, but it was under-rotated, but it was a really good program, and of course it helped her move up to that bronze spot. But I'll throw it out there for your thoughts on the results, because I liked both of them, but I thought I would have flipped the results.
It's a tough one because you have two triple axels that were super good, but Kaori was amazing. She was amazing. She looked so strong. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think.
I think you have to look at high technical content versus maturity, presentation, solid skating. And it's hard to balance out the way things are currently set up with our judging system because the technical content, you can't disagree with.
And it was close. It wasn't like it was.
Triple axel is a triple axel.
Huge margin.
So
we're not talking 40 points between the two of them, but, I was just like, I don't know. But, yeah. So, Isabeau Levito was fourth in the event. She was third after the short and dropped to fourth. Struggled with her opening triple-triple combination. Both programs, I think, for Isabeau suit her style this season. I like both programs. I think she's at Skate Canada next, so she's going to need a medal spot to kind of qualify, given, but we still haven't seen a lot of the top skaters. Like, we will see Amber Glenn and Alyssa Liu this week, but we also haven't seen Luna Hendricks, coming back and the others in the mix as well.
Solène, was there anyone else in the women's event that you want to point out the performance?
Oh, I know who she wants to point out, and I didn't mention this one yet, but go ahead. I'll let you take
Are you talking about Lauren Shield?
Yes!
Yeah, she had a great skate. She got 5th place, so that's amazing. And what was very important for her is that she is facing Léa in 4th competition. So Masters, Grand Prix de France, Zagreb, and French Nationals. So it was very important for her to place higher. And she, apart from that, she had a very, very good free skate. So that was amazing.
I think everybody else also was a little shocked by Jia Shin of Korea. I think people thought she would be higher up there. But, disappointing short and some mistakes in the free didn't have her in medal contention at all. And again, she's coming up from juniors. Sometimes it takes a while. You're not going to win a gold medal in your Grand Prix debut just coming up all the time. So, she's competing this week in Cup of China, so we'll see if, maybe she will do better in that.
So let's talk about the pairs. Again, a discipline where there were not surprises in the results.
No, and they didn't change between short program and free skate. If you looked at the results, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 short and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 free skate. And that was the overall. Nothing changed.
Yeah, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara of Japan are reigning world champions. 1. Deanna Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps of Canada won the silver medal. They singled a triple twist in the free skate, which is not something, that just seems, it's just not something you see from them. And they had some mistakes in the side-by-side jumps in the free skate. During the program, the Salchow was called a triple Salchow, but the protocols had it downgraded. We had to wait quite a bit for their scores, but they did do that assisted backflip in the short, and I know that Deanna's really proud of that, like being able to put that in the program. And Hungarians Maria Pavlova and Alexei Sviatchenko won the bronze medal. I feel like the teams had some challenges once we got past the Japanese. The other teams had some challenges in their performances. We had a 22-point gap between first and second.
Riku and Ryuichi's short program was amazing. It's a masterpiece, really. I'm very happy they kept it for this Olympic season. It's amazing.
Realizing that they were only 7th at the Olympics in 2022 just seems crazy to me because it feels like they've always been this good and this polished and this amazing to watch. I'm really interested in seeing how the dance judging continues to evolve at the upcoming Grand Prix because we definitely saw some differences if you looked at the protocols within the protocols for each team. Skatingscores.com makes it easy to see some of those discrepancies if you go to that website.
And I saw discrepancies too, not only in dance, but it was across in some other disciplines where I was seeing high scores from one judge to lower scores for another judge. So I'd like to see how that hopefully changes a bit throughout the Grand Prix, and not just dance, in all of the disciplines.
Yeah. Consistency would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Solène, for joining us and sharing your experience at the Grand Prix de France. What's your next competition?
Helsinki.
Yes.
With Matteo. Yay.
We are reunited.
And where can people read your reports?
Skate Info Glass.
Yeah, we'll definitely put a link to that in the show notes.
Thank you so much. I wrote a lot about Guillaume and Laurence, if people are interested, about Adam. So yeah, go have a look.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of This Week in Skating. Remember, you can keep up with us throughout the week by visiting our website at www.thisweekinskating.com. Connect with us on social media for additional updates. You can find us on Twitter at This Week in Skating without the E's, or Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at This Week in Skating. You got a burning question or feedback for Gina, Daphne, or Matteo? Reach out to us via social media or drop us an email at thisweekinskating@gmail.com. And if you're really enjoying the show and want to support us further, consider joining our Patreon community at patreon.com/thisweekinskating. Until next time, have a nice week.